Aries, your future awaits. We are just out of the eclipses of October, where you are starting a new chapter of your life with what are your needs, what are your desires, and making those be a priority for healthy boundaries for you. And the wheels of fate, they're already in motion and you are headed in a new direction. You're going to be feeling this forward motion as all the planets begin to shift signs, pushing into your new destiny. So strive to accept this change with optimism. Hi, I'm Trisha Tate with Willow Grace Mystic, and this is your November monthly forecast. So let's dive in. We start the month off with November 4th with Saturn finally stationing direct. Now, for many of us, this is a welcome breath of fresh air, because Saturn is the planet that wants to bring constrictions or boundaries. And in the sign of Pisces, we've kind of felt like we've been pulled back on things. So for you, this is in your 12th house. The 12th house is your spiritual side. It's your hidden enemies. It's your dreams. It's your intuition. It's the house that where we go and we rest and recover. And so Saturn in your 12th house is basically saying you need to make sure that you're setting some boundaries so you get healthy time alone. Then as we move forward on to November 8th. So on November 8th, we have Venus entering Libra. Now, this is absolutely beautiful because Venus is the planet of love and emotion, and it's cash and property. And for you, this is occurring in your 7th house, the 7th house of partnerships, relationships, one-on-one. This is the house of contracts. The 7th house is love and marriage, and it's all types of relationships where they're friends and can be open enemies. Now, Venus is in its natural ruler here, and so you might find it easy to deal with others at this time. You're going to enjoy all types of commitment, whether they're friendships, significant others, or partnership. So be diplomatic and find ways to work out compromise when you're talking or working with others. Use your words and make them pleasant. All right, so then next we move on to Mercury in Sagittarius on November 10th. So on November 10th, Mercury going into the house of you traveling, and this is foreign people, places, things. Mercury in Sagittarius in your 9th house. The 9th house is the house where you seek out foreign travel, taking classes, taking workshops. The 9th house is where you have these prophetic dreams. It's the house of publishing and the house of government and publishing your work, taking a class, or actually teaching the class. So having Mercury here, your thoughts are going to be seeing the bigger picture, seeing things on the brighter side, the bigger picture being made easier, and having these great ideas of, I want to travel here. I want to connect with these people. I want to try this food. I want to publish this work. Things are going to be easier for you, and you're going to be wanting to work on bigger plans at this time. Then as we move forward to November 13th. On November 13th, you're going to have this beautiful new moon in Scorpio. Now, what's going on here is a stellium. You have the moon, which represents your house, your home, your family, your roots, your foundation. And then we have the sun, which represents your 5th house of either children or things that bring you joy. The 5th house is love, love affairs, gambling, excitement. The 5th house is where you find pleasure and romance. So having the stellium here and having the connection to home topics, having the connection to what brings you pleasure, whether it be your children or anything. And remember that Mars is the ruler of you, the 1st house, yourself, your personality, your appearance. So if we bring all these topics together, this is an 8th house theme with Scorpio, meaning you're going to have these opportunities for great transformation for the better. You're going to have this opportunity to do things and want to make them last over a longer period of time. Remember, the 8th house is the house of birth, death, rebirth. It's also the house of transformation and other people's resources. So if you include topics that have to do with you, your home, your children, and your 8th house. You can pursue projects that you're passionate about. You can share, you can start all over. Also, I want to draw your attention to that the sun in Scorpio is opposing Uranus in Taurus down here. Now, Uranus in Taurus is about shock and surprise. And so an opposition is what is blocking me from doing everything that I want to do. And so you might be restless. And this is about you pushing back against people who don't want to do exactly everything that you want to do. Anything that you think that is trying to either corner you or block you in. So you're going to have to work on a positive, productive response to give others that you share resources with, because the Uranus is in your 2nd house of your self-worth, your cash, your property. And this is about you feeling safe and secure about the actions that you're about to take. All right, so then as we move forward to November 22nd, we have the sun entering Sagittarius. So this is a beautiful time in that not only do we have Mercury here in Sagittarius, we now have the sun joining it. So the sun is you. It represents everything that you want to do, your core, your being. And the sun entering Sagittarius is saying, I need to find adventure. I am ready to expand my thoughts, my ideas, my beliefs. Remember that the sun rules your 5th house, things that bring you pleasure. And so the sun in Sagittarius is saying, I want to expand. I want to have these new experiences. I'm looking for opportunities that I can focus on during this season, that I can be more optimistic about, that I can be more open about. You might want to try new things, go to new places, meet new people, study new topics, because the sun is in your 9th house, and the 9th house is foreign people, places, things, travel, publishing, journaling, writing, taking classes and workshops. And with Mercury there, you're already ready to communicate this with others and dive into some kind of a study program. Then on the 24th, we have Mars entering Sagittarius. Now, again, now the Sagittarius part of your life is really being magnified. We have the sun and Mars and Mercury all here. Remember that you are ruled by the planet of Mars. And so we have the connection to what brings you joy. We have the connection to how you're going to communicate. We have the connection of your mental, physical, spiritual health, well-being. All of these topics are saying, I need to focus on what's bringing me joy and what's bringing me pleasure. And so you're going to be having that your mind is focused on expansion, and now you're going to have this passion and this drive. You're going to have this energy where you're going to move forward and strive to pursue these opportunities to learn and expand your knowledge, to want to travel, to explore new places and try new things, and publish your work and or teach. Then as we move forward to November 27th, on November 27th, we now have this beautiful full moon in the sign of Gemini. Now remember that the moon, it rules your 4th house of home, but Gemini is ruled by Mercury that is in your 9th house. And so we have the sun here, Mars here, Mercury, all saying this part of my life is expanded and this is what I want to see, this is what I want to do, I want to travel. And then we have some endings of sorts. Remember that full moons, they reveal things that we just didn't know were there, or that were hidden or once behind the curtain, and now we're able to see them more clearly. And it's also, full moons bring endings. So a full moon in Gemini, this is going to be a great time to sort through your ideas, to finalize some plans, to see the results of your short-term plans and your ideas. And this is also going to be a time where you can say what you mean and mean what you say, because Mars is saying, I want to be active in this. Now, you're going to be able to work with and understand emotions that are behind the words. You're going to be able to merge your head and your heart with this lunation, because the moon is your emotions and your feelings. And in the sign of Gemini, it's thoughts and communication. So I want to draw your attention to Mercury in Sagittarius is also square to Neptune. So we have Mercury, your thoughts and ideas, wanting to do these things, and in the squaring Neptune in your 12th house. Remember that your 12th house is the house of dreams, intuition, your psychic ability. It's the house where we go to alone to figure some things out. It's the unconscious, it's the shadow self. It's where we go for privacy. And so this square means that you could be trapped in like having a lack of focus about what you want to say and how you want to say it. And you might have a hard time seeing what is exactly right in front of you. And so this is an opportunity for you to ground your thoughts and work to use your imagination. Go with the flow with what you want to express and say and do, and make sure that you're following where your head and your heart are leading, but making sure that you're following your intuition as you work through this lunation. The moon is not going to lead you astray. The moon is your feminine side. It's your intuition. It's what we don't share with others. All right, so Aries, I would love to hear about your thoughts in the comments below, and please check out the other transit videos for more updates on all of these, the new moons, the full moons, for much more information and more details. Please join me live at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I either talk tarot and offer astrology, new moon and full moon horoscopes. And to receive updates as soon as they're released, please subscribe.